Terror striking through thousands of Afghans tonight. These stunning images coming from the nation's capital as thousands rush the tarmac at the Kabul airport. They're seeking refuge as the Taliban continues to gain ground in that city. Here in Texas, help may be in the work for thousands of Afghan refugees. Meanwhile, President Biden temporarily coming back from Camp David this afternoon to address the country.
The truth is, this did unfold more quickly than we had anticipated. So what's happened? Afghanistan political leaders gave up and fled the country. The Afghan military collapsed, sometime without trying to fight.
The UN Secretary General telling the Council that all countries must be open to accepting refugees. The Pentagon now confirming that approximately 2,500 U.S. troops are at the airport trying to assist with that chaotic evacuation. That number will eventually grow to 6,000 in the coming days. Now, local veterans here in Central Texas have strong feelings about how this withdrawal has been handled. 25 News reporter Adam Schindler is at Fort Hood tonight with that.
As U.S. citizens and many others are fighting to get out of Afghanistan after the Taliban quickly overrun the country, Central at Fort Hood, Adam Schindler, 25 News.
Adam, thank you. Now, you may be asking yourself, why are so many people trying to flee right now? The big fear, revenge attacks from the Taliban against those who worked with the Americans and then the government in Afghanistan. Many also say the Taliban will reimpose that strict and extreme Islamic law from when they ran the country from 96 to 2001. Military leaders worry acts of terrorism will rise under the Taliban. AP reporting Pentagon leaders estimate that groups like Al-Qaeda could rebuild within 2 years after American forces fully leave. Military leaders now plan to form a new timeline based on this evolving situation. Officials are also pointing to corruption as a reason for the security collapse there. In the past 2 decades, billions of dollars were spent to train Afghani military forces. The morale dropped even further when the U.S. announced plans to formally withdraw troops. The UN will hold an emergency meeting about all of this. The Secretary General addressing the Council's open meeting earlier. He will call on the Taliban to ensure humanitarian law is followed and the rights of all of their people are protected. The Secretary General will also request that international humanitarian efforts be allowed to deliver assistance to those who need it. As the takeover continues there, humanitarian and international rights groups are especially concerned about what is to come for women and children. Women's rights in Afghanistan have expanded enormously since 2001, but as fears of the Taliban imposing those restrictions spread, many women and children have already started to flee. Now women's rights groups are focusing on finding safer places for them to live. The military could be relocating tens of thousands of those Afghans to here in the U.S. According to the Pentagon, the Department of Defense may relocate up to 30,000 of them to Fort Bliss in Texas and Fort McCoy in Wisconsin, at least temporarily. The Afghans applied for special immigrant visas. The Defense and State Departments confirming they will accelerate those applications.